Welcome to The Point. I'm your host, Eric Mitchell. It's been an eventful few days here in our country. As you may or may not know, a domestic terror attack took place on January 6th, 2021. It's not our first time dealing with being attacked by either foreign or domestic. More expecting foreign, as we did on December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese helped the United States enter World War II feet first as they attacked us, sneak attacked us on a Sunday in Hawaii 2 weeks before Christmas. Fast forward to 1996 when the Oklahoma City Federal Building was blown up by Timothy McVeigh, who can be seen enjoying or watching the siege at Waco in Waco. Fast forward again to a day that most of us will never forget, September 11th, 2001, when over 3,000 people lost their lives to a foreign attack. Fast forward to January 6th, 2021. In the morning hours, the Trump folks held a rally. And during this rally, we had some cast of characters that can only be explained by, oh my God, the amazing binge-watchable series called America. The first speaker who got up and fired up this Hitler Youth meeting that seemed to pop out of nowhere, the sore loser meeting, because before we went to record, the president hadn't conceded. Now we know forcibly he had to stand in front of a camera and actually read words, and we knew because he spoke a complete sentence it was rigged. But as you know, the president has conceded the election and is now called for a peaceful transition.
To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay. We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high, but now tempers must be cooled and calm restored.
But this wasn't to be on this January morning where Rudy Giuliani, the penguin, the mad shitter, the only person that you've ever heard fart, that's right, fart, why he was testifying that the president was cheated in the election.
They didn't bother to interview a single witness. Just like you, they don't want to know the truth. Well, you probably know the truth. I'm worried about their not wanting to know the truth.
Take a lot of people serious when you do that and find every crazy person that you can. But Rudy jumped up in front of the crowd and told them that they should, go to combat.
Rudy Giuliani on Fox Sunday spinning his latest false conspiracy theory about an American voting machine company, a bizarre take involving George Soros, votes being counted in Spain, and dead strongman Hugo Chavez.
A company that has close ties with Venezuela and therefore China.
False.
He went on to say how the election was rigged, no courts will listen to him. Rudy, let me help you, my friend. When you're so sad and pathetic that you lose over 60 times in court, and you can't even get to the right Four Seasons because Four Season landscaping between the, mortuary and the porn shop.
Who's tweeting, posting on YouTube, showing up on far right-wing shows, spouting wildly false allegations, even from the parking lot of a landscaping company next to an adult bookstore.
You're not out to a good start, and the fact that you got paid $20,000 a week, it's very scary that is the best the president can find. Besides that whack job Jenna Ellis and Sidney Powell, those are the type of people I wouldn't invite to do anything for me. I'm talking, I wouldn't even want them to pull weed. Now, that's not to say Rudy the Penguin was by himself, because that's right. Harry Ellis from Die Hard showed up, Hans Booby. Hans Booby showed up, Don Jr., fresh off of a line of blow, walked out on stage and encouraged everybody to, go attack the Capitol.
And you guys are part of that movement. So stay in this fight. Stay loud. Don't be suppressed. Don't be put in your corner. Don't let them cancel you. Trust me, I've been canceled 17 times since I started this speech. I promise you. Once it happens, it's rather freeing, and you can kind of do what you want. Don't let them do it to you.
He also threatened to make sure that everyone wouldn't win re-election, that Dare spoke out against his father, because when you lose an election, the best thing to do is threaten people, because it worked out so well in Georgia. is Georgia elected 2 new senators, both Democrats. So Democrats had a clean sweep in the state of Georgia because Trump and dancing Mike Pence.
I'm Mike Pence, and I'm clapping, and I'm prancing, and I'm running up the stairs to do the Pence Prance. I like to do the Pence Prance.
These people have sabotaged themselves. You almost feel bad for the candidates that ran in the Republican Party in Georgia for this runoff because the president did everything but sabotage them winning by crying like a little bitch that he lost.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
But that's not what we're talking about. No, this isn't an episode about the Georgia election results. Originally, it was going to be. But no, after Don Jr. got done, and when he needed to go get another bump, his father, an hour late, took the stage, where he rallied this crowd of nuncumpoops and idiots to show up and drive us all crazy as they fired up the crowd, crying like a little girl, saying he won the election, it's his. Mind you, this is fresh 48 hours after the President of the United States had called up the folks in Georgia and asked them to give him about 11,000 votes, because that's normal. That's what I call and ask for on a Sunday in Georgia after I've lost the election over 2 months ago. The president got on stage and then said, "Will you follow me? Follow me, dear patriots." This is actually what the president said.
As this enormous crowd shows, we have truth and justice on our side. We have a deep and enduring love for America in our hearts. We love our country. We have overwhelming pride in this great country, and we have it deep in our souls. Together we are determined to defend and preserve government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our brightest days are before us. Our greatest achievements still wait. I think one of our great achievements will be election security. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
But Diaper Don, to be Diaper Don, didn't march. No, he waddled his fat ass, orange ass across the street, grabbed a bucket of popcorn and his crazy psycho press secretary, and they sat on the couch in his private residence watching what turned out to be a domestic terror attack on the United States Capitol. But before we get to what happened at the Capitol, let us first talk about the word patriot. Now, when some people think of patriot, they think of this, or they think of this, or they think of Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait, just you wait.
But when we think of Hamilton, we think more of the crazy king as being Donald Trump. This is what we think of, not what you think of. When these folks think of a patriot, they think of, hate, bashing people in the skull, anyone who doesn't agree with them, buying thousands of dollars of Trump memorabilia because that's what we do. That's what this country is about, is getting these craziness and these crazy, crazy things and attacking people, because this is what the word patriot has become. Not Tom Brady, not George Washington, not Alexander Hamilton. No, 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 my friends. It's this guy or this group of idiots. But these are the people who sacked our capital. These are the people who have been on the streets of Washington, D.C. fighting the police. These folks have hid behind the word patriot. You've heard it. These people love using the word patriot. They ruin brands, like this amazing brand that talks about patriotism, showing this fist. Amazing apparel company. Instead, you get the clown show. Because these people don't know any better. They use the word patriot. They hide behind bad songs that talk about storming the Capitol, storming the gates, punching people, destroying people, because that's what they do, weeding out the snakes under the guise of patriotism. This is not patriotism. It is the ultimate form of extremism, or terrorism as it turned out. Now, on our next episode, we're going to talk about the events that took place on this January day at our Capitol, and how the response was very different during the summer than what we saw in the first domestic terror attack on our Capitol. Highlights of this included that a Confederate flag for the first time was able to penetrate into our Capitol. That's right, during the Civil War, those scumbag slave-owning rebels never made it past Fort Stevens. But on this day, these scumbag trailer park people made it through the front doors, through everywhere. That's right, that rebel flag made it inside our Capitol. Now, doesn't make me happy, as you can clearly tell, but that's for another episode. Make sure you stay tuned for our next episode. Check out what we've been talking about. Simply make sure you smash that subscribe button and follow us on social media. We love the follows. Make sure you catch the other episodes that follow this show, the recommendations. We'd love for you to share it with a friend. Stay tuned as we have a series coming up talking about the events that took place and what is next for America. We have a series coming up for you guys I think you'll enjoy. Stay tuned for other amazing segments that we have coming your way. Make sure you subscribe to The Point today. As always, on behalf of our entire team here at To The Point, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And on a brief personal note, as some of you may or may not heard, earlier this week, my father, John Mitchell, tragically passed away suddenly. I'd like to dedicate this show and the rest of the shows for this season of 2021 To The Point to my father. It warms my heart to know that 2 hours before the man left this earth, he watched our show. And thank God I don't think it was our show that caused him to pass. I know it didn't. My father was a big fan. He laughed at my jokes. We were miles from each other, over 3,000, as my father lived in Florida and I live on the West Coast. So I'd like to dedicate this show and all the remaining shows of 2021 to my father, the late John Mitchell. Everyone else, thank you so much for your support and condolences that have been given to myself and my family these past few days. As always, I'm your host, Eric Mitchell. Be safe, be strong, be smart, and God bless America.